Good evening, and welcome to the Galactic Daily News Evening Edition with your host, me, Cameron Durgay. It's me. Anyway, how's everybody doing this evening? Hope you're all having a good time or good evening, relaxing at home with your loved ones. I've got my loved one here. This is Bogey the Wonder Dog. I often wonder what he's supposed to be doing. Anyway, guys, so here I am, feeling a bit better than the last time that we spoke. Maybe got about a 45-minute nap, but I've eaten again, and so that's going well. Anyway, I also washed my hair, which is something I don't do enough of these days. Hard to do with the catheter thing here. Can't get that wet at all, so you have to take special precautions. And it is a pain in the butt, and generally tires me out. For some reason this time around it did not, but that's the way the six-sided rolls sometimes. Alright, so where are we at? Let's see here. Yeah, last time we spoke, did some sleeping, did some eating, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Alright. Some folks may be wondering about this right here. Okay, I don't know how. Yeah, it's a little, because it's white, it's a little hard to see. But it's a bandage around my wrist. Why do you have a bandage around your wrist, Cameron? Well, a couple of weeks ago, the docs installed a, I can't think of the name of the thing now. But basically what they did is they went in, they sliced me open in two places, took out some of the veins and arteries there, and they attached a vein and an artery to each other so that they run together. The reason they're doing that, they did that, and it's about another 4 weeks before it's totally healed on the inside. Pretty much healed on the outside, but we'll get to that here in a minute. I can't think of what the frick it's called now. But anyway, it is where they will be inserting the needles for my dialysis once it heals, rather than in the tubes that they've got stuck in my neck here. I spoke to the nurses today at the clinic about removing the peritoneal dialysis catheter, because if I'm not going to be working, I really don't need it. The big reason why I had that put in and why I did the peritoneal dialysis, because at the time I was working at the call center, the Sears call center down the street here. So, I would come home at night, hook myself up to the machine, be dialyzed, get off it in the morning and go to work. It was great. It was awesome. Downsides to it were I had to do it every night. Shortly after that, of course, Sears laid us all off. And I went to work for Cytel, doing the same thing I did at Sears, but doing it from the comfort of my own home here. So it didn't really matter. I could hook myself up at night, and heck, I could stay hooked up in the morning. I could if I wanted to. In fact, my doctor and I talked about this. Hook myself up during the day while I'm working, because I'm not going anywhere. The machine's right there in my bedroom, and the tubes are long enough to reach in here without any issue at all. And I was having to be on it longer and longer. At the peak, I was having to be on there 12 hours a day. Which, not that I have much of a social life to begin with, but it really, really cut into any social life I might have had. I don't want it. I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. I was stuck on the machine. Yeah, okay, I could come in here into the office, I could go into the bathroom, I could reach part way into the living room, but for the most part, I was stuck in the bedroom. And like I said, the times I was on there each night were getting longer and longer. Up until the point where they finally decided, no, this wasn't working anymore, and they put me on hemodialysis, at which point they put the thingy in my neck. And then a few weeks later, the thingy in my wrist. And when the thingy in my wrist heals, all the tubes are coming out of me. I'll be able to shower. I'll be able to swim. Not that I did a lot of that, but, you know, a friend of mine has a swimming pool, and she invited me over a couple of times, and I had to decline because I can't go in to a swimming pool because of the catheter here, and now because of the catheter here. It's going to make my life a lot easier. It really, really is. It means they're going to be sticking needles into me every couple of days at the clinic, but you know what? I'm alright with that, as long as they're the ones doing the sticking. I don't like to stick myself with needles. I don't like needles, period, which is one of the reasons why I never got tattoos. Just don't like them. It's pain. Don't like pain. Anyway, they'll be taking the one out in my belly, and in a few weeks they'll be taking the one out in my neck, and then I'll be as close to a normal boy as possible. What else we got going on? Yeah, on the personal side, not a whole heck of a lot. I did on my vanilla Facebook page. Some of you may know that I have a vanilla Facebook page. Ask folks for anybody who is in the High Point area to give me a lift to Publix tomorrow. I got a gift card. Woo-hoo! I can get some more groceries, which will be a boon to me and the dog, even though he's already got a lot of food. I'm not worried about him for another couple of weeks. It's me I'm worried about. But this should take care of that if I can get to Publix tomorrow. I already have one volunteer, so if nobody else steps forward, she has said she will do so. And that was very nice of her. Some folks have asked, you know, since I consider Bogey my sidekick, why he doesn't appear more often on these programs. Well, I'm going to try and get that taken care of. Mostly while I'm here talking, he's laying there behind me, pretending to sleep. But, you know, maybe we can get some sort of reaction shots out of him. What do you think, Bo? Thought so. Anyway. Okay, so. One of our faithful viewers, Marie LePierre, out of Virginia. Winchester, Virginia, if I remember correctly, has asked my opinion about Trump and his tariffs. Alright, so I'm not a fan of Trump. Never have been. Didn't vote for him. Didn't vote for the other person as well, Clinton. I voted Libertarian. I voted for Gary Johnson. He lost, as we figured he probably would, mostly because people are too stuck in their ways, and they either have to vote Democrat or Republican, and won't even think of switching. And unfortunately, Gary kind of shot himself in the foot there with some remarks about Syria, as in not knowing what the capital of Syria was and its importance. That and libertarians have a bad rap in a lot of cases. A lot of people tend to think they're anarchists. They're not. Libertarians are,
it's
for the most part...
21:45.
Thank you, dear. Libertarians are, for the most part, strict constitutionalists and don't want the government to do anything more than the Constitution says it can. unfortunately, both the Democrats and the Republicans have made a habit of going far beyond what the Constitution says. Um, and it's a sad, sad thing. But anyway, Trump. Not a fan. Never been a fan of his. I think he's accidentally done some good things. But the tariffs are not one of them. Tariffs are basically a tax on goods coming into the country. So, let's say that you're a country that exports widgets to the U.S. Well, a tariff is, let's say, a $5 charge that the U.S. government charges you on every widget you send in here, which makes your widgets $5 more expensive than they are in your home country. And in a lot of cases, more expensive than the widgets that are manufactured here in the U.S. Which is the whole reason behind tariffs, is so that U.S. manufacturers have a leg up on things. If the tariffs aren't too bad, it's not a horrible thing, because we're going to charge tariffs on your widgets, you're going to charge tariffs on our velvet bags. I don't know, just looking at whatever's on my wall right now. And it all equals out. Unfortunately, when it what will often happen if the tariffs are too high is we get into a trade war, which we don't want. Trade wars. Trade is the lifeblood of the world, and we need trade. Our companies need trade, their companies need trade, everybody needs trade in order to survive. If there's a trade war, trade stops. So right now, with what Trump is trying to do, is purposefully or not, he's trying to start a trade war with China. If you'll remember back from his campaigning days, he's always had a big bug up his ass about China. Some of that's justified. Some of it's not. China has backed a lot of espionage against our country, industrial espionage, internet espionage, that type of thing. So a lot of the stuff that we accuse Russia of, China also does. We just kind of let it go with them. But like I said, Trump has had a big bug up his ass. So that's one of the reasons why he's doing the tariffs. If you have been following the whole issue with Huawei, it's a Chinese tech company which we have accused of doing espionage against us. We have accused of putting backdoors in their chips that they sell to U.S. manufacturers so that they can get information. It's one of the reasons why they've not been allowed for a long time, as far as I know, to sell to any U.S. military concerns. But even without selling to military concerns, you can do a lot of industrial espionage. So, and we've recently just slammed the door on Huawei selling any chips to anybody in the U.S. And any companies that buy them are breaking the law. But the short of it is, Trump, yeah, there's a Freudian slip for you. Trump is being very short-sighted when it comes to the tariffs, when it comes to China. Because we do a lot of trade with China. We buy a lot of Chinese steel. And as much as he yelps about, we need to get American steel up there and running, we just don't have any way to do that right now. Our steel industry is in the tubes. And not the good tubes. So, yeah, the Chinese tariffs that he's trying to impose, or is imposing, bad idea. Very bad idea. Probably the worst of his ideas. Like I said, he has accidentally done some good, He's cut a lot of regulations that have helped small business. That it helps small business that he's done that. And if that's all he was doing, it'd be great. But it's not. So anyway, any questions? Go ahead and ask them in the Facebook page, ask them on the YouTube channel, or email me, Karen@mac.com, and I'll try to answer them for you. So, I think that's it for now. Yeah, this is getting a little long, so about time to cut it short. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Ciao.